All right, welcome back to Jenna Jane's yard. We got our second rain for the spring. I did some planting, and now we're gonna go check out and see what everything looks like. And we got a little bit of rain this morning, so I figured I'd do this before it actually started downpouring again. So let's take a little ride through Jenna Jane's yard. Yeah, this is like our second rainstorm. We only had 2 snowstorms this winter. And I planted about 150 trees about 2 weeks ago. April 10th I started actually. And this is the side of the house. I believe this is the west side of the house. Okay, so I just adjusted the camera. We're going to cruise down a little bit. Right where I just was, I just planted about 12 of them right there in that section this year. And this is a group of trees that's been here. The first row to our left, I planted 3 years ago. And then these taller ones here are in the second row. And those I planted last year actually. And then I just planted another 20 or 30 on this side. So they're actually growing pretty good here. Okay, so let's go back, adjust the camera. We're going to go back into the woods. This is an old house, about 50 years ago. This was an outhouse back here. And 3 years ago I cleaned it up. I thought I could salvage it, but when I drug it out, it all fell into like 4 or 5 different pieces. So years ago, this used to be like a deer hunter's haven. And before they had indoor plumbing, we apparently used the outhouses. All right, so here. Now I'm gonna have to drive in and back out, so. Okay, this is what we got here. Just a little bit to the left. I got about 10 trees here. 2 of them are actually transplanted from another area, and the rest are the DNR pines, red pines. And then all the way down, and you can see some right about there as well. So I got about, I'd say 20 here. Okay, bear with me for a minute while I back up. This kind of started out as an experiment with this video here. And then over the winter, I was checking out some of the videos that I uploaded for Jenna Jane. And I was like, oh, I like this. I remember that. I forgot about this. I forgot about that. So I figured once we're going to, I mean, right now it doesn't seem like much, but we're also, how do I say it? Basically like a live music archive. We're preserving history. We can look back and actually see how much progress I made in the last couple of years, or what all improved. So it's nice to look back every now and then. So here, where I'm coming up is right behind the house. And if you look over to my right and my left, it's pretty much an oak area. There's some pines mixed in, but there's a lot of baby oaks. So I made a path here so I can rake it out. And then hopefully the oaks will be growing here in a little bit. But if you look right up in here, I got about, right on the bottom of your screen, you can see I got about 20 more red pines up here. Okay, so now I am going to go back out again. And we're kind of going uphill on some soft sand, so I got this thing in dual traction right now. All right. So I kind of like doing what I'm doing here. It started out as a fun and a little playing around and an experiment, but we're also checking out Janet Jane's yard and see what also transpires in like 5 years' time. And it's starting to sprinkle again. Now here, the DNR, excuse me, the DNR actually told me if I get lazy or something, just create a mulch row, and we do have a lot of erosion because there is a slight 20-25 degree angle slope. And since we live in sand country, you know, everything erodes. So I'm stopping some of the erosion, and I also got, how do I say it, mulch growing as well. So I'm re-fertilizing the ground. If you notice, I spread out the dirt over the right before the 2 snowfalls that we had, and I'm already seeing grass growing through it. So that's actually a good thing too as well. Grass for the first time. This is probably going to be the last time it stays green. From what they're saying, I'm going to assume we're in another drought this year. So I'm not really going to cut the grass. Probably not for a few more weeks. Let it stay green. There's all my scrap from fall and what fell in the winter and the areas that I'm cleaning up. Okay, so now we're going to check out the front. Janet told me these were Sweet Williams. Another person told me lilies of the field. Or is it the other way around? I don't remember anymore. So here are either lilies of the valley or Sweet Williams. And I don't know if they're one and the same or not, but they grow little white bells. And I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 red pines growing, and I set up a sprinkler here for when it doesn't rain. And I got about another 20 red pines planted here this 2 weeks ago. So, all right, back up one more time. And we're going to see how our little favorites are doing up here in the front. Yeah, garbage men are probably a block away, and they're probably looking at me as if I'm a little weird. Why is this guy driving on a gator with microphones and everything? So here are my little babies that I grew like 4 years ago actually. Look at that. Christ, they already grew like 4 feet since I planted them. Boy, these guys are looking good today. And there's my little flower bed. I did plant a few daisies in here, and I got some free seeds in the mail. Daffodils, forget-me-nots, and I think I see a couple actually growing in here, but I actually got them in little plants up by the house. And I got a couple of bird baths in here, so when that water is filled up, the birds always get a shower, and they like that when I water the trees. They get the little baths in and cool down from the hot sun. So we're blooming pretty good here. Okay, so that's about it for now. Actually, I'm kind of intrigued. I want to scope out across there and see what I can find in the ditch. So I'm going to check that out real quick. Bear with me. Garbage man's here. Actually, I spoke with the owner earlier this week. I saw him out, the owner of the property across from here, and I told him what I did a few years back. He had no problem with that. And then besides the city that comes by here and mows the grass, they will actually just mow it down. But there's some great samplings here, and I got permission to take if I need more. I stay within the fence line, so the neutral zone in the ditch. So looking right up in here, these are just growing naturally. And the city's going to cut them down anyways when they cut the grass. So I steal a couple when I can. And there's a lot of nice ones growing in here this year. A lot of little babies. All right, let's go back into the yard. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed the video. And this is May 2nd, 2024. So you guys have a great day, and welcome back to Jenna Jane's Yard.